Hi, folks. All right, so yeah, so it is time for another video. So welcome to the Addicted Bookworm. I'm Hermione. I am the Addicted Bookworm. On this channel, we do book hauls, book reviews, reading wrap up, weekly or Sunday wrap ups, reading wrap ups, ebook reviews, and so much more. So yesterday, even though I uploaded the video today, yesterday I read the first four stories from the big book of modern fantasy. Now, according to my Libby, I have 11 days left on this particular book, and I will renew it. I will renew it when it's time to be renewed. And in all honesty, I don't even know. I don't know if I can renew it once or twice. I will just have to see what happens. And everything. So this one is called it's the Laying the Wayfarer by Jack Vance. Jack Vance was born in 1916 and died in 2013. So he was an actual fantasy writer with more like sci-fi fantasy, things like that. George R. R. Martin does mention him about how influential he was, or he at the time he was still alive, is in fantasy / science fiction. So anyways, it is about this guy who I cannot pronounce his name. He's actually included in one of the stories that the author did when he was alive. And this guy basically, him and his companion, are basically, they're in this world, there's like sorcery and everything. I'm gonna be absolutely honest. Reading this really extremely short story, I was like, I can get why George R. R. Martin talked about him the way that he did. So anyways, getting back to the story, so this one guy, he appears at this bar, or he's at this bar, and he's talking about this tapestry that he's heard about that he would like to get, but there's only one small problem. It essentially has a sentinel in it, a sentinel attached to it, and of course, her friend is like, no problem. I'll go get this thing. Like, sir, why do I have a feeling you're not going to survive this odyssey? And he doesn't. He dies. I'm like, yeah, you can join your little friend with his no eyes in a socket. But yeah, and then of course it ends with the woman. I found this story to be amazing. I really loved this story, and it just really shows of how well the older writers were able to blend sci-fi and fantasy and all that. And it's wow. Absolutely wow. But absolutely loved it. It was a good story. So I gave it 5 stars on my own and everything. So the next one is going to be written by. So these people I'm getting the impression that most of these people are dead. Edgar, I can't pronounce it. He was born in 1909 and died in 1963. So that will be the next one that I will be reading. Alright, so I'll see you in the next section. Alright, so I have finished the 6th short story that really wasn't a short story. It's entitled, I can't pronounce the name of it. What I'm actually going to do is put down a list of the titles of the stories that I read, because I can't pronounce this title's name. But it's actually the second one I can't pronounce. It's Orchard. So basically it is this Lord's orchard. Alright, so the story is actually in 2 parts. And it took me like 25 minutes to read the short story. And it's about this lord who in essence is betrayed by his butler and all the servants except for one, a woman. Or it might be 2 people. But anyways, so there definitely is that fantasy element to the story with like these lords and magic and everything like that. One of the things I really did like about this story was that all these things that led up to this betrayal and about how helpless that he felt being betrayed by people that he thought he could trust. And it's one of those things about, you have authors that do a very good job in showing the human motions to betrayal. To like, being betrayed by my friend, being betrayed by my wife, things like that. She did a very good job of this particular kind of how this like emotional roller coaster happens. So yeah, I absolutely did love this story. It was it a little bit long? Yes, it was, but we do get the scope of what this man goes through. Anyways, so that is number 6. So the next one is written by Margaret St. Clair, 1911 to 1993. Was born in Kansas, but lived most of her life in California. So we will be reading that. The Man Who Sold Rope to Knowles appears in the magazine of fantasy and science fiction under a pseudonym of Idris Seabright. So yeah, well, that is the next one we're going to be reading. So I will see you in a bit. Hello everybody. Alright, so I have completed short story number 7. This actually was an actual short story. In all honesty, I don't quite know what the heck I read. I honestly don't know what the heck I read. I'm like, I know it has nothing to do with the fact is that I woke up suddenly and thought I was late for work. The other ones were pretty much you knew what you were reading, but this one was confusing. I didn't feel anything for the character. I wasn't even vaguely interested in this character, but I read it because it was 6 minutes long to read it. And it's like, I don't know if like fans of her stories when she was alive would be like telling me, well, oh yeah, this is what she didn't get about it. And I'm like, I just didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. I didn't. Was it a bad story? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it was a bad story. All I know is I just didn't get it. Yeah. Alright. So, I'm moving on to number 8. And this one is by Mandy Wade Wellman, 1903 to 1986. Was an American writer born in Portuguese West Africa, now Angola, where his father was stationed as a medical officer. Alright. So, hopefully, we will figure out what the heck this one was. Alright, I'll see you around. Hey everybody, alright, so I have finished story number 8. I hope I have it correct. I can just look at the videos that I have done this morning and know if I'm correct. So this is actually number 8. So I'm actually on number 9 right now. I on number 9, but number 8 is "Oh Ugly Bird" by Manly Wade Willman. Yeah. Um. So this one's another one. I don't know if it's because my mind is like preoccupied by something that I could not get it, but the story was just so confusing. And it's like, I just, oh man, I hate that. Like I said, I don't really know if it's, like I said, if it's because I'm just preoccupied with something or what, but I just did not seem to understand the story. And the characters are confusing, the story is confusing, it's just all confusing. And I hate it when I read a story and I just don't understand it. It's like, what am I not getting about these characters? What am I not getting about the situation? I mean, is it just because it's so dated? I don't know. So I'm hoping with the Gopher Box, which is the second story that I'm reading a translation from the original, was 1913 to 2010. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyways, I just, like I said, I just didn't understand it. I really didn't. Alright, so the next one is hopefully number 9. If that's the case, I have that one and one more to go, and I'm done with the book for today. On the whole thing with the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, I'm only reading 2 chapters of that book, and then I'm going, it'll be chapters 3 and 4, and I should have that section done tomorrow, so I will do a quick video. As far as this one's concerned, because I have to be at work at 4, I'm only going to be reading numbers 11 and 12 in the list. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and see how many short stories are in this book, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Alright everybody, alright, so I just finished the Gopher Box, the second story that was translated, I believe from Yiddish. And so it is basically about this guy. He finds this gopher box under the water, and it's full of these gems. They're really beautiful, but it kind of is a little weird because there's a skull involved, and it's like, okay, I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, look, I know what I just read. I read that. I thought the story, it was really short, like 3 minutes long, but it's kind of, it's very descriptive in its short length, and it's essentially about this box that is full of treasure, and I'm like, did the guy die, and what happened? Oh man, I don't know. But I guess stories like this, you don't really have to think much of it, you're just enjoying it. But anyways, yeah, so 5 stars on that one. That was a good one. Alright, so I have one more short story to read on here. I did check out it, and the list is long. So I will be doing these videos for quite some time. Quite some time. But yeah. Alright, I will see you with one last video, and then we're going to the, with the other book. Hi folks, alright, so I finished the 10th story in this collection, And I will tell you, this 10th one was really, really boring. I mean, I fell asleep. That's how boring it was. There was 3 stories in it, and none of them made a bit of sense. None of them made a bit of sense. One of them had like horns coming out of someone's head. I just was not interested in any of the 3 stories. The characters were bland and boring. They were doing nothing interesting, and I'm like, yeah, it was like it turned out from like 23 minutes to like over an hour because I fell asleep. But yeah, disappointed with this one as well as the 2 others. I really hope that the stories get better. I really do, because if it don't, I'm going to send it back to the library. So I see you guys with the Southern Vampire thing.